I am so confused with season 2 One Piece live action Netflix.com, because how can you give us such an amazing Mr. Number 5 and then give him that power? Okay, obviously it's from the anime and whatnot, but maybe you could have changed that power. Dude, that power is cringy as hell. It's just so weird. I don't get it. This was a masterpiece slash failure slash disaster, but slash amazing piece, and an amazing One Piece. How do you spell One Piece actually? Because I keep spelling it wrong. It's ONEPICE, or is it ONEPEICE, or is it ONEPEACE? Okay, no, the third one doesn't count because that's for actual piece. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. There's a lot that I found wrong personally, and let me know if you agree with this. But the first thing that I really didn't like is issues that I found with production. Why am I doing this? These are not issues that should be issues, and they were very inconsistent issues. So the first thing was appearances, dude. Now everybody's clothes, like, they were hitting, it was vibes, it was cool, okay, but there was a time where Zoro was wearing these disgusting pants, and I couldn't wrap my head around why they just got into Little Garden, and then Zoro's pants were just why are you wearing that specific color, dude? Like, those nasty, bro. Like, he could have, they should have chosen a different color. It just doesn't match very well. And then those hideous shoes that he was wearing, like, it just didn't make any sense. When I first saw those shoes, I thought they were Air Forces, like Air Force Jordans or something like that. And I was just like, those are weird, dude. Like, you have so many different shoes that you could have worn. The other problem I had with production was the makeup and the wig. Oh, with makeup, everyone's makeup was amazing except for a couple of people, and I'm only going to name the ones that really annoyed me the most because there's things that you just can't control. But the most annoying makeup was on Mr. 3. Now, Mr. 3 was one of the top characters, dude. I won't lie to you. Mr. 3 was really cool. Like, that was, he captured, that actor, like, captured everything, all the mannerisms, all the sassiness, and like the weird attitude that he has. That dude, like, he literally scares me. Hey, he scares me. I don't want to meet a Mr. 3 anyway, because you might underestimate him, but dude, if you can't get out of that wax, it is over skadovers, dude. Like, if I'm stuck with Mr. 3 and it's a one-on-one, I'm done, dude. Like, no one can come save me. It's over. But Mr. 3's makeup was not it. I have been in the makeup industry for the past 685 years, okay? I've been nominated as the best anime. No, I'm lying, okay? That's a lie, it's a lie. But I'm not a very good makeup artist myself, but I can see when it's not good, dude. I can see, because I think I could have done better. I think Mr. 3's makeup could have been better, because when you look closely, right, the white that they put on was way too patchy, like as if they didn't put enough layers on him, because I know you could have spray painted the makeup on, okay? Like, you guys could have done that, or you could have chosen a more toned down color, like a very pink. I know in the anime it's about the wax, which is like pure white, but you could have, but you didn't. So it could have been better. And then the other problem I had, OMG, was the wigs. Oh, the wigs, dude, the wigs. Oh my God, the wigs. First of all, the wigs ate. There were wigs that ate, but then the ones that didn't, I was just like, what are you doing not eating? Everybody is wearing a costume. Why was Vivi's wig perfect? I know it was apparently they spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on her hair. And why was Vivi's wig perfectly laid and installed and everything, But then you've got characters whose wigs were so bad that you can see Wapple, like his hair, nasty. And also a lot of the wigs had like flyaways. So flyaways is like when you've got hair, right? It happens a lot with the wig. And sometimes when you've had a wig for a while, it gets like these flyaways that are like this. If it's not like set properly either, using a wax stick, you can like, you know, put the flyaways down. But like, that's so basic to me. Like, why wasn't that caught, bro? Like, why wasn't that fixed? Because I would literally say like, dude, the wigs, you have no right to be this bad. And also, I think Sanji's hair, like they could have made it a little bit more. Sanji's hair, I know it's a live action where we're trying to also be more realistic to bring the anime to life, but I think they could have maybe cut it a little bit more formed. And like I could see how it was irritating him a lot, especially during like the fight scenes. He would land and then like it would be like it would be on his face, and then I could feel the irritation, like, ugh, I just want to, you know, like move it, because it wasn't fitting, dude. Like it literally wasn't fitting. I'm just saying that it could have been cut better, could have sprayed that shit, I don't know, like done something a little bit better than whatever that was. I don't know. And they made it way longer than season 1. Sanji, apparently everyone is annoyed because he wasn't wearing enough suits and he didn't really look his part and everything. Get over yourself. It's literally not that big of a deal. They didn't have like suit wearing scenes. Like I know when they were in Little Garden, Sanji was wearing a suit, but dude, that's like a minor issue. It's not that big of a deal. And then the other characters that looked really bad were the giants. The quality of the giant was atrocious. The makeup and their wigs and everything, that just looked really, really bad. And I understand that it was obviously very difficult to navigate the giants, but then maybe you should have cut it out. I don't know. The next thing that I really didn't like was how in the dialogue there was just so much of cringe, like really, really cringy dialogue. And that doesn't make sense to me, because I know the anime is trying to appeal to a range of ages, but dude, come on, like you gotta consider that just because now you've got One Piece fans that are older, it doesn't mean that you need to force yourself to appeal to like a younger age. There were so many dad jokes, and like they weren't necessarily dad jokes, but they were like really weird jokes. And like the anime, I guess, tries to put in dialogue that is very, you know, relevant to pop culture, but you don't have to do all of that. It's just really weird and just nasty and just gross to the ear. And I think the unnecessary swearing was weird. Like there were a lot of times where the characters were swearing so much, and I thought that, you know, who are you trying to appeal to? To me, the most cringy scene was the fight between Luffy and Alvida. That was weird. In fact, that whole segment between Alvida, Buggy, and Luffy, their dialogue was very cringy, dude. Like, I know people are gonna agree with me on that. That was weird. That was also very, very weird. And a lot of people are also saying that Luffy's actual character, like, he was cringy at some points. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with that. There's times okay, as his character, he is supposed to be super loud and like very boom, but there were times where I was just like, it just didn't make any sense, and they could have took that out. I don't know, but he was still really cool. He was very, very cool. He's such a good actor, dude. Like the best Luffy we could have ever had, bro. The next problem that was how bad the CGI was. Now, we know that this is an anime where you have a lot of fantasy elements going into this. Sometimes it's really just impossible to, you know, replicate things that are not real. It's really hard. But if it's that difficult, then why don't you just take it out? I don't know, and then like replace it with something else. I don't know, but don't make it ridiculous, especially with the giants. I'm sure there was a better way to capture that, because the way they did the giant situation, it was just really awkwardly weird. Even the quality of the whale, like, I don't, oh, yuck, like that quality of the whale, that was really yuck. I definitely think Chopper's character, like him, is very cute. I think that was an amazing design, but his backstory, why did it take an entire episode, dude? Like, even in the actual anime that I watched Chopper's backstory literally like not even halfway, and then the rest I could just like gather from summarized videos online, because it's not very interesting. It doesn't like add that much to the main plot. I know he's like a big character on the crew and everything, but they shouldn't have spent a full episode on this guy's backstory. I thought that we were going to get to Alabasta. That's why I was clawing, foaming at the mouth that this series finally dropped 30 years later, because I thought we were right after Little Garden. Now we're gonna go to Alabasta. While we're in Alabasta, we were gonna also get Ace, because I don't know if you guys remember, Ace was teased not so long ago too. So what was the whole point of all of that? Remember Luffy calling, hey, what's up, brother, whatever in that video? The worst thing is that the transponder snails, what was that? You guys didn't even do it properly. What happens to the transponder snail is that it's literally obviously like a phone, right? But the way that they did it, it looks weird, dude. It's like this weird robotic 80s Five Nights at Freddy's looking thing, and it just looks so weird, and it wasn't even the right ringtone. Bro, it's so easy to redo this. Like, if I was actually filming with you guys, I could have done it for you. You wouldn't even have to do much. All you need to do is go bele 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 bele. Gotcha. Much more. You know, like, it's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. Like, I really wish they had the ringtone for the transponder snails, because that would have been so accurate and cool and perfect. They didn't do that. Why? I don't know. I don't know, Oda Sensei. What is wrong with you guys? Why didn't you add the ringtone for the transponder snails? Oh. The best characters, bro. The best characters. Robin, Nami, Vivi, Mr. Five. I'm saying Mr. Five because Mr. Five was so good looking, dude. This guy was so good looking. Who is this actor? Tell me who this man is, because he was everything, dude. Like, when they got to Little Garden, Mr. Five's outfit, did you guys see his hair? And Nami, her outfit's 8. I loved Nami when she was fighting a lot. Like, seeing Nami fight was so cool, bro. And the fact that her and Vivi have that really cute friendship, that was like so nice. That was just like so cool to watch. And stop making inappropriate comments about Nami when she went out the door and it was still, and then she came back wearing a bikini. Like, what is wrong with you? There are so many South African actors in season 2, and that makes me so happy to be presented like this, guys. As a huge anime, and to see South Africans on there is amazing. And the fact that they shot some of this in South Africa too, in Cape Town, that is really incredible. Like, I can't, like, my heart to-doom. That was amazing. But what did you think of season 2? I think it was way better than season 1, but it's gonna take very long for them to make season 3. So I don't know what they're gonna do with season 3. Is the whole of season 3 in Alabasta? Are we continuing to Thriller Park and then Skytopia? I don't know. It's just not making a lot of sense to me with continuity. Why are we getting characters introduced but then you don't see them on the show? Why are the wrong characters being introduced? Like, these are all questions that I'm very confused about. So if you guys know Oda personally, like, if you can please don't mind, like, just ask them for me, because I really would like to know all the questions to all these answers. But you know what, at the end of the day, they have to do all of this on purpose so that we get talking about these things and like generating hype for the actual anime. So I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that like I'm a huge One Piece fan and I love all other animes. Like I have a long list of animes that I love. Anyways, send me a list. Who did you like the most in One Piece? And what do we think about Mr. Five? He's amazing, right? Except for the booger thing. The booger thing I can't get over. Like that's nasty, bro. I literally would yuck. Okay, I can't. Goodbye.